What's up, everybody?
Hello, welcome to the Dusty Auspex.
I am Fabio.
I'm Kyle, and we are, I don't want to say the B team. I guess we're Team 1, they can be Team A.
Okay, all right.
There we go.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're last, etc., etc.
Right.
So we're with 40 Below, and we are here live at PvP Cyber Lounge.
Wonderfully comfortable here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's been happening in the beautiful world of 40K, as well as with 40 Below Gaming. So
we have a lot to cover.
We have a lot to cover.
Yeah,
it's very exciting.
They've been spoiling us lately.
So first, let's get some of the info out of the way with regards to the 40 Below Expo.
Absolutely, coming up next weekend, August the 20th.
Yep, right here at PvP Cyber Lounge. Very exciting.
Incredibly.
So we've got, if you guys don't know, we have 40K, Age of Sigmar, and Infinity tournaments happening.
Now, both the Age of Sigmar and Infinity tournaments are new for us. First time we've been attempting these ones.
Yes,
I'm very excited to see how it comes.
Yeah, there's going to be some growing pains, and it's going to, just like 40K, it takes time to build and get the community involved and excited. But got to start somewhere, and why not here? Why not now?
Absolutely. We're here for the Winnipeg community. This is a good way to support it. Get all flavors out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So 40K is sold out currently. Age of Sigmar has 5 spots left, and Infinity have 3 spots remaining. Now, we don't know what we're going to do, but if the last spots don't fill, that means we'll have tables, and that means we will try and maybe get some more 40K teams out and playing, because we know there's a few people on the wait list. So
it is very important to get on the wait list.
Yeah, so get on that right away. There's still a chance to get in.
Sigmar? We passed that halfway mark.
Halfway mark, yeah.
That was looking a little worrying for a bit.
Yeah,
but
that was the goal. We got there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so guys, just keep checking the Facebook page, the 40 Below page. Make sure to follow the event, and so that way you get all your updates, everything like that.
Yeah,
schedule times, what time to be here, kind of, things not to forget on the day of.
Deodorant. Never forget your deodorant.
Pro tip. And dice, those are important.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like second.
Hard second though. All right, so I guess so there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's go to the league. So David's been unreal with this league. We're in month 2 right now. We're still in month 2, so people that are trying to get their second game in, or even their first game, make sure to get that done.
I believe most of the first games, if not all, have been completed. The bonus games are still open.
We still have people that haven't submitted their scores. Submit, please. David's going mental, while he's on vacation, trying to do stuff.
He's doing an amazing job.
He's doing an amazing job.
He's keeping up on it while he's on vacation, and I think his wife is hurt while he's on vacation.
Yeah, his wife got hurt too. I think that was planned, so she gets better vacation. But that's
it was planning.
But yeah, so please submit your scores. Make sure to jot down information, stuff that you like, something you don't like, stuff that you may think could be neat next time around, stuff like that. Please be vocal.
Yes, we need feedback.
Feedback
helps. We absolutely want to find out what you liked, what you didn't like in this.
And be picky. Be nitpicky.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to offend us.
Okay. But yeah.
Feedback's good. We're first attempt at the league, just like we're doing our first attempts for Sigmar and Infinity events.
And we're at our first attempt at running this podcast on our own.
Right?
Lol.
I feel like I need Rory here holding my hand.
Yeah, right? It's not easy. But yeah, so there's the 10. So next up, okay, are we gonna go? Should we go to the top 10?
I think we're gonna shift into the top 10.
Yeah, we're gonna do top 10 right away. All right. Let the people that tune in early get.
They get the benefits today.
They get the benefits today.
Now, do have to give a little credit to Rory. He, of course, helped us out with this one.
So this is kind of in Rory and Dan's wheelhouse, but they insisted that it goes on our segment.
It's popular, so I think we're going to have to start doing it. But we'll plan
ahead. We'll work on it. We'll have to work on it. But
all right. So to start with, we have top 10 things I hope GW does better than writing rules. Number 10.
Urinate in a toilet.
I certainly hope so. I have seen some Pretty set toilets, close urination.
Oh man, the amount of people that miss the struggle is truly real. Gotta makes you wonder what the hell is going on there.
It puts you down a bad train of thought because you start thinking like, how could this happen? And no, you don't want to approach that.
No, don't ask those questions.
No. Which leads into
number 9.
Pull a ripcord while skydiving. So one of those essentials you want to keep living. You got to give it that yank.
Yeah, there's always some people that you just wish those ripcords wouldn't deploy, right? They forget or something, but
make that 40-second drop happen.
Yeah. Number 8, keep calm around a black bear.
Now, I believe that is the correct term for the bear, not African American bear.
Oh. Yes, that is the correct. That is the correct term.
Yes, I guess for black bears, keeping calm is the thing you do. I know there's some bears that just want to get the crap out of there.
I thought you were supposed to make a lot of noise and look big, but I mean,
it's like different things for each bears apparently.
Rory knows best, so
maybe Rory's trying to get us killed.
Yeah, maybe.
Rory, your black bear tips not very good.
Yeah. Number 7,
brush their teeth. Now, dental hygiene. We know the stereotype. It's just not as strong.
It is a struggle. It is a constant struggle.
But we're hoping they can do it better.
We're pulling for you guys. Come on. Number 6, look after precious jewels.
Okay.
I mean, they're precious. They're valuable. So hopefully they treat them better than, I don't know,
than dirt?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Rory, we'll work on that one. I think that one maybe should have been number 10. But
I definitely think that should have been number 10.
We'll work on that, though.
Yeah. Let's go into number 5 here, which is keep murder a secret. And I gotta say, if you have someone who can keep their mouth shut while you're committing a homicide, you got a valuable partner there.
Yep, absolutely. Gotta stay quiet. Don't snitch. Snitches get stitches. Or land in ditches. Don't forget.
We're on number 4, sir?
Number 4. Chew quietly during a good movie.
Not a bad movie.
Not a bad movie. You can chew during a bad movie.
Loud as you want. That's fine.
But for the most part, please keep those mouths shut.
Yeah, if I want to hear that dialogue, that's all I want to hear, not your mouth. Number 3.
Yeah,
in the classic Rory style, we got another plumber joke. Wipe their ass.
Oh, God.
Well,
but I mean,
so.
Apparently Rory wipes everybody else's ass on his site. He's a team player, so...
he's the guy who cannot quit, cannot be fired. He is just like Teflon Rory.
Yeah, Teflon wiping butt Rory.
Yep. Works well for Teflon, I guess.
Sure, I guess. Number 2, close their eyes while it's bright out. I don't know if I agree with that.
There's this handy thing called sunglasses.
Yeah.
And they tend to be tinted. We've got a handy demonstration.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kyle. Ooh, wow, it suddenly got really dark in here. Rory, remember.
And number 1, remember to breathe. So right there with the hygiene ones, this is another one of those essential to living ones.
Yeah, unless you're not flushing your toilet, then breathing might...
It could save you.
But...
Very well.
I mean, my watch reminds me to breathe quite often, so I feel like it's really important. So remember to breathe.
And that wraps this scintillating
that concludes our
top 10.
Top 10.
Of things I hope GW does better than write rules.
All right.
Well... Now we've gotten out of their segment.
Yeah, now we got out of their segment. Let's say
hi to Dan.
Hi, Dan.
From his bad back.
Bad back problems. Awful.
Right? When you can't even play a game of 40K.
Man, what is he like? How old are you, Dan? Like 27, 26, 28, and you have bad back problems already. And from
I could see if he did like a competitive sport. I guess dodgeball can kind of squeak in, but
no, it's not in the Olympics yet. So I mean, it's less competitive and less contact than computer gaming apparently, because computer gaming is going to be in the Olympics.
Hardcore.
Oh yeah,
you got to do those like 48-hour sessions. Put your own
the carpal tunnel is real.
Woo, boys, terrible.
All right, so let's get back into some 40K. So I assume most of you have seen the Space Marine errata has dropped. Sorry, my eye is really itchy right now.
Yes.
Space Marine errata. So
Basically, what I found here was they touched up some things they had just errated in the indexes, which, you know, seems to indicate to me they printed these about the same time.
Yeah.
You'll notice favorites like the wrist-mounted grenade launcher getting AP -1. Just received that a couple weeks ago for the index.
So basically, it's just reiterating things that
we should know.
We should already know.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
The interesting one, I thought, was the Chaplain Grimaldas.
Yes. Yes, I agree. That was the one that stood out to me. It was just kind of neat little trick.
Just a boost.
Just a little boost. 6-inch bubble. Anything within that bubble, or any units that are in that bubble on 6s to hit, they get an additional attack with their weapon.
Crazy, the Black Templar get
extra attacks.
Yeah.
Weird. Brendan, who would have thought? Anyway, so that's kind of neat. I was asking Kyle before the show about if the extra hits on
generate further hits.
Yeah, generate further hits on 6s, and I don't personally know of any spot, and I can't recall anything. So
usually,
who knows?
Will say specifically, does not generate further hits. This one,
so we don't have anything. So we'll see.
So my assumption, until we're told otherwise.
Yeah, research is ongoing.
Investigations are always going to.
Yeah. So we got some other stuff, like the chapter approved.
Oh, this one has me very excited.
Yes.
One of the biggest complaints for years is the fact, obviously, 40K was never intended as a tournament game, but they never gave support to the tournament scene. They didn't give us any indicators, fixes. Chapter approved is our yearly update. This is telling us, here's a few more missions. Here's a few more restrictions for match play,
They're basically taking a year they review the previous year, and they review feedback, and they actually try to balance their game.
Shock of all shocks.
Very cool. Yeah. Honestly, it's one of the best things that anybody could hope for. We all know there's problems with the game. Every game has holes, but at least, at the very least, yes, exactly. But at the very least, they're recognizing that they are making mistakes, but they are being active in trying to correct them, which is all anybody can ask for.
As well as being incredibly communicative with the community.
Yes.
They are really going for the feedback. They're listening to what we have to say.
The transparency is
wonderful.
It's like night and day from 7th to 8th. So good on you guys. Good on GW.
If you listen to Mark talk about it, this has been like 4 years in planning, 3 years in planning, and trying to get to this point.
Building up the courage to talk to the internet.
Hoping that people don't give death threats just for them existing.
Yeah. Who does that? The keyboard
Oh,
warriors.
there seem to be legions of internet people.
But so the ones that have kind of been tossed around, we've got Boots on the Ground, which basically, it seems like it came up because a few tournaments really...
The 6 Storm Raven, it took events early on.
It took events really early, and that kind of...
So they've already done one modification to it. They released their FAQ a week or two ago, and in there they had that towards your instant death, which means no models on the table, anything in the flyer slot doesn't count.
Right.
So that was a good step towards it, but they could still hold objectives. Now the preview they showed us for chapter approved says flyers cannot hold objectives. It doesn't matter if they're hovering, doesn't matter what they're doing.
Where they're purchased, nothing. So next one, OBSEC.
Ooh.
OBSEC is coming back.
Now this is a good and a bad in my mind.
Yeah, I'm not too pleased with this one. OBSEC is great, but certain armies definitely have an advantage because their OBSEC units are far better.
Oh, certainly.
So
you get a blob of 30 Orc Boys or 30 Hormagaunts sitting on an objective.
Yeah, it's hard to move them.
To dislodge that.
Yeah. So I can see both sides to this one. So I'll reserve judgment right now.
I'm reserving judgment until it hits. One of the things I do like is it's again providing more encouragement to go towards less of the spam list.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to hold those objectives, you got to have some troop slot.
Yeah, you have
can't do like I do on my AdMech list and do all heavies and elites.
Do all heavy and elites. Yeah. Exactly. Unless you're willing to sacrifice the OBSEC, right? Yeah. So that's now there's high risk, high reward. There's more thought.
Giving options.
Options.
Early on, people were not sure about command points and if it was worth having 12, 13, 14.
I still don't believe it is, but
you talk to Marine players now who have more options.
That's true.
And for them, all of a sudden
it's become very worthwhile.
So I'm interested to see as further codexes come out what the rest of us get.
It's just really too bad that they all don't come out at the same time with all that kind of stuff because, like I said, the power creep is very real because
it will be.
Space Marines get theirs, they automatically have a huge edge, which in my opinion
by December we'll have 10 of them.
Yep. And you know what? Necrons are in December, so I'm okay. Yeah. I made the first wave, so so that's good. The other chapter proved that I'm sure most have seen is changing the way first turn is established.
This is going towards the ITC standard, which of course is if you finish deploying your units first, you get +1 to seize the initiative as opposed to an automatic, or +1 to the roll to go first, pardon me, as opposed to an automatic, you're there, you're first unless he steals.
So I mean, this as well reduces the like 2-drop lists and stuff like that. Like it basically tells people like you don't have to worry that much. You can play, you can have more versatility in your army, you can have more variety, and you're not gonna have to pay a huge cost and always take second turn. Because the way it is right now, first turn is pretty potent, and if you can take more expensive units with better firepower, and you guarantee yourself
generally what folks are gonna do. Yeah,
right.
Currently, I faced Brendan last week, and he was doing a Black Templar list, 3 Land Raiders.
Yeah.
All the troops, all the characters start in the Land Raiders, so he has 3 drops at the beginning.
3 drops.
Pops out Grimaldus, Hellbrick behind for the Chapter Master rerolls, pops out the Lieutenant for reroll wounds to 1. Very potent fire base. But again, he's got it down to 3 drops.
Yeah.
Not a lot of command points because he doesn't need them for that list.
Yeah.
Now, Jason has pointed out that he's not very happy with the fact that Marines started with objective secured, and now they're turning around and saying that everyone's getting it.
Well, now, I don't know how I'd be upset. I have to disagree with you, Jason. I personally think that if Space Marine, like tactical Marines or their troops in general, are going to get OBSEC and nobody else in the game is going to get OBSEC,
well, the thing for me is the previews for the Grey Knights and the Chaos Marines had already shown they were getting OBSEC.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I mean,
as far as we know, this was already planned for every book, every troop.
Well, it has to be. I think that's a balance thing, and I think GW said that to address that exact problem. It's like, okay, not everyone, so basically you can take Space Marines, you can take a flood of troops and stall out your games just because you have so many bodies, and literally there's nobody can test your objectives unless the opponent wipes your army out. It's kind of like, well, where's the fun in that?
And on the flip side of that as well, I can't feel too terribly bad if Marines get something taken away or shared with others. Marines get a lot of toys.
Marines got all the toys.
Just by being virtually being the defaults,
They're the poster boys. Yeah. Yep. They get all the fixins.
They will get the fixins.
So actually that brings us, so you mentioned you're playing Brendan, so let's go into let's talk about some games that happened this week. Let's take a little
So the match against Brendan was very interesting because I've had a lot of folks intimidated by my Zinch list, which admittedly it can be difficult. I throw out a lot of smites. I've got a lot of maneuverability, but as I've been saying, there are absolute counters to it. This was a non-Magnus version, so I can say
I can attest this. I was there. Yes, I was at GW. Everybody.
Yeah. So I had Fate Weaver, I had the Lord of Change, so I had got my 2 big guys. I also had a Demon Prince backing me up. Okay. Then it was just filled with little guys and chariots. So pretty standard for what I like to run. I like that speed and maneuverability, and then I like having lots of little brimstones dancing around, weaving their fire everywhere. So I started advancing towards him. I'm moving up. I'm trying to get in there to get my guys into combat and to get my more effective smites closer.
And tie up those...
One, he dumps a couple las cannon shots from his Godhammer Land Raider into me. Yep.
Okay.
I block 2 get through. He rolls in a 6 and a 2 for damage. I'm like, okay, so Warlord trait. Here we go. Gonna get these 6s. No, let me command point that. 2 becomes a 6. All right. So there's 12 of my 16 damage on Fate Weaver in 2 shots.
Good start. Start.
Then, there's enough firepower that he was able to finish it. As I keep grinding closer, I'm starting to pull down. I'm getting charges into the Land Raiders. But he's just disgorging the guys. He's spitting them all out. They've got Meltas and multi-Meltas. He just retreats the Land Raiders I've charged into, unloads everything heavy into me.
And then just dropped,
He wiped me down. I had 3 units in my backfield of horrors. I had 1 unit of horrors towards his zone, and we had to control each objective.
Okay.
I had 1 in my zone, he had 1 in his. If at any point you control, or at the end of your opponent's turn, if you control both, game's done.
Okay.
I had no way of getting to him, to getting that last one. He could have just sat and shot out the rest, so he got a very good victory on that one. What I was most happy about was his dice didn't crap out on him.
Hey, don't roll 1s, pro tip. I actually...
And you said you got
Yes, I actually had a game, I know. It was an early morning game. I played Byron at his place. It was actually really good. I brought some obviously Necrons. I was playing against some Death Guard. We played one of those wonky missions with the cards that dictate what's kind of happening.
The open war cards.
Yeah, the open war cards. That was actually pretty fun. I really like that kind of format because especially for just random pickup games. So we had the one where there were 6 objectives, 3 in each deployment zone, and if the opponent ended a turn on one, they could blow it up. So you had to try and control yours and blow up the opponents.
Detonate the enemies. I like that.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. So there's a few misplays on my part, a few on his. I had a higher power level, so he got a bonus card.
A ruse.
Yeah. Yes. So
which I find hilarious.
Which was he got to bring any unit back that had previously died in the game. So he had a knight. He was planning on waiting for me to pump everything into that knight and then bring it back.
Yeah.
But I actually ignored the knight long enough, so he actually used it on a Helldrake, which actually won him. I don't want to say won him the game, but heavily put the game in his favor. Yeah, because I had moved some stuff out on objective because I knew he couldn't get there because his mobility was gone, and then all of a sudden
he got the 30-inch.
Then all of a sudden,
from the Helldrake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he came right back on, flew right back over, blew up an objective, and then I was on my heels. So it was a good game. Great table. Byron does a lot of terrain and
Byron
stuff.
Does amazing terrain. A lot of our stuff that we have through 40 Below Gaming.
So yeah, he's got some stuff. It links on our page, I believe. Still, if it's not, I will make sure to put it back up. But he did change his company name, so that's why if it's not there, that's why it's not there. But yeah, it was really fun. I really like those cards. It was interesting that
I think it's a neat way to organize a non-competitive game.
Yeah, but even still though, like we looked at our power levels. Like mine was 107, I believe, and his was 97. And it was interesting because we're both at 2,000 points, and you can have, I know he was talking about some other games, and he played in another opponent was 117 to his 97, and you're both at 2,000 points, and it's kind of like, well, how do you...
That's why there's this disparity in the power levels. Personally, I don't enjoy playing straight power levels as much because, like, some armies aren't balanced that way.
It just doesn't... I
find the points, it evens out a little better. An example is my Shooty Admech army. I'm sitting about 90, 94 tops, right? My No Big Birds Brigade Spam Everything Demon list is 135 points.
Really?
And it does not put out anywhere near the same damage, but there's bodies everywhere.
There's a lot of bodies.
However, I'm very confident I could take the AdMech list, put it against the Demon list, and the AdMech list will end up winning, just based on firepower.
Okay. So, all right, that's interesting.
Yeah, and there's a disparity of almost 40 points in power level between the two lists.
So power level really... So it almost seems like power level is dictated by quantity versus quality?
It does come down to that. It really does. Like, I can put all the big ones in my list and be spending 20, 21 power level on each of them. Won't add up as much as a bunch of 5-point units.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate because that's very misleading.
Well, the other side of power levels that I'm a little down on is it's harder. I mean, it's very easy to set up a casual game. It's harder to have that trust in a casual game. You could have a guy who's built his list very fluffy, salamanders. I like lots of fire. That's cool. The other guy can completely optimize it. Those Devastator squads he's put down could have bolters, or they could have las cannons, and it's the same power level.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and just, I mean, and
that's my issue that I find. With
when you try and encourage, like, people try and encourage a casual game, and they then go into, okay, well, let's play power level, and it's like, well, actually,
power's almost more.
It's actually more. It's more skewed.
Now, I would trust people I know with a power level game. Like guys I play regularly at GW or at Hidden City, guys I know from the game events that we've put on, any other tournament group. Yeah, I'd have no hesitation playing power level against these guys because I know what I'm getting into there.
Exactly.
I feel more hesitant for the guys who are newer and trying to set up a power level game against someone who's experienced.
Especially if you haven't seen what they're playing, so you actually can't even kind of gauge it or anything. You're just kind of like, oh, he's got like 100 power level. Okay, well, I'll get 100 power level, but you could be... And
not to say that there's a lot of players out there like that, but I have a distinct memory from when I started at Edmonton. We had a guy who came to the store, and I could never remember what we called him, but he was always the guy with the army in the box. He'd bring in a big cardboard box, and you didn't know which of his armies was in it until you had deployed.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, your stuff would be on the table. If you got first deploy, he would actually deploy it all, and then he'd bring his stuff out and start deploying.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was...
But it's not like he had multiple armies in the box.
Sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes he had, like, his orcs and his Tyranids all crammed in there, and he's like, well, this will work best here. He was kind of a
call that strategy.
Right? But there are players like that out there, unfortunately, who don't really care about the fact that it's a social game, it's an interactive game. You know, you're working with your opponent to have a game. You can't have one by yourself, or at least not a very interesting one.
Oh, yeah, you could play test, but something like that. So Ryan says tough times for Imperial players. I don't understand what we're referring to.
I think he's being sarcastic to.
Oh yeah. Oh, got it.
Earlier. Yeah,
and Ryan, yes, I agree.
Yes.
We'll play our small violins together for Jason later.
What's that old farm saying? Tough titty, said the kitty.
I like that. It makes it hard. I don't know if I agree with it being hard to make lists.
I think it actually makes it incredibly easy to make a list.
It's just very straight. It's just very cut and paste, but at the same time, it's just
it's too much variation.
It's just too
much open in my mind.
It's too.
It's that trust you really got to have.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have the trust. But it's okay. I mean, whatever. It's another way to play. It's
and like the fact that they're giving us options, the fact that they're giving us extra things we can add onto the missions. Like no one's really touched it yet.
Actually, in those random. Sorry, I cut you off there. Go. No, finish it up.
People really haven't touched on it yet. But if you flip past into the advanced rules, you've got things for like night fighting, for like an extreme psychic mission, for like bombardments happening. There's some really interesting things you can do.
People are still trying to just learn their armies.
Oh, I know. It's one of those things that it's like there's so much layers in it we haven't hit it yet.
No, absolutely. No, now I forgot what I was going to say. Don't worry. Let's just keep moving on.
Open War.
Those random cards. Yeah, there was another thing that said like. So basically, the way it determined who went first in our game was who. So we were playing points. So we played 2,000 points, but it was what was your power level.
Yep.
And that's determined who went first. And I was kind of like, okay, like it was kind of interesting that way. And I mean, Byron had thought his list would get trounced by mine.
Sure.
But the amount of because his power level is lower, but. I mean, with the Knight and Typhus and the Helldrake and stuff
Typhus.
Typhus is amazing, by the way.
Holy
I think he's just super flavorful. Like,
shout out to Logan. He's probably been rocking the biggest Typhus and Poxwalkers I've seen in town so far. True. He's got like 80 Poxwalkers around Typhus.
Talk about commitment. But no, it's it was good. But I just can't really. Those cards are fun. Like if you want to just do some rando games and actually just shoot the shit with some friends and stuff, and those cards are awesome.
3 of the deployment maps or 4 of the deployment maps I'd actually pull out of there just because it's like they're touching, like the zones are touching.
Oh really?
Yeah. It says in there you still have to deploy 3 inches away from any enemy model, but like you could be on the line, your opponent could be 3 inches away, turn 1, boom, there's your charge.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the flip side, there's a lot of missions and there was some really cool deployments. You've got like a circle in the middle, and then you've got the other guy deploying in the corners, so one's surrounded and the other's fighting in. You've got like kind of an arrow spearhead one. Yeah, some very interesting ones.
Yeah, again, just give me more.
It's just the variety.
Gets rid of the staleness, right? Like everyone wants to play the 12-inch deployment zone, or and
Dawn of War is easy to set up. Let's do something like kill points because
nobody ever picks the other side of the table. Like you always take your side because that's where your stuff.
Lazy gamer syndrome.
Absolutely, not good in events, people. I think I did a Trump thing here. I do this and this and like
you do this and it's big league.
Yeah. Oh god. Anyway. Oh god. We're not.
Okay. I see your point, Ben. I definitely see your point in terms of having to flip between multiple indexes to be able to.
But I don't think that's a power level problem. I think that's just the organization of the book problem.
Or that you want to do too many things from too many different Imperium factions.
And then that's a you problem.
But no, I know what you mean.
No, it's definitely
when you get to be doing like a few assassins with your Imperial, like your Marines. Let's say you've got an Inquisitor coming down.
Okay, so you're jumping around quite a bit. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So let's shift gears here and go to the book that's coming out for grand tournaments by Games Workshop.
Yes, so this is kind of like a precursor to the chapter approved. It's getting some of those chapter approved rules right out there, and letting them do it. Of course, being grand tournaments, you're stuck with the standard GW rules for those. So
they dictate your rules.
Alternate models, third-party models.
Not gonna happen.
Won't happen in those tournaments.
No rubber ducky Razorwing flocks.
Another shout out to Brendan. When he was in Grand Forks, one of the opponents he played was running the Razorwing flocks, which at the time, very popular spam, 7 points a model for 4 wounds and 8 attacks. Ridiculous.
Literally gaming the system.
So instead of doing a conversion, maybe even putting a base out, a little color,
putting some effort.
bags of dollar store rubber ducks. Just these little yellow rubber ducks everywhere on the table. And you look at the pictures Brendan taken of the tournament, and it just looks insane. You got this good-looking army, boom, rubber ducks.
Rubber ducks.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually we're going to pause on this for a second because this question has come up multiple times, and it needs to be addressed.
Yes.
So let's go through this. So basically the question is, for doubles play, do boots on the ground apply if one guy takes 3 flyers and an HQ and a scout squad? If you take out his troops, which would be his scout squad, and I guess his HQ as well,
anything that's not flyers.
Is he considered tabled? And the answer is no, because as long as his partner has boots on the ground.
Yes. This is how they've been running at the doubles tournaments that they've been doing at Warhammer Worlds. I think it's the easiest one to go with. It just makes sense.
As long as you're playing as a team. You are one army for the event, essentially. I mean, there are some variations, there are some other rules, but
you're going to have things that don't cross over.
Yeah, but in terms of boots on the ground, it is if you have 0 troops on the boots on the ground.
Flyer slot is the only thing.
Yeah. As long as you don't have only flyer slots across both of your armies, you're okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, back to the Grand Tournament thing.
That is definitely an important one to go over.
Yeah.
There has been some confusion because, how do you define army? Is it each player has an army? Is it the one side? I think the one side is the easiest way to approach these issues.
It's the simplest.
Yep.
It's really, it's not, I don't think it's that confusing. I think that's pretty clear that the intent is to not screw people over.
That's what we're trying to be honest.
But on the other side, don't take 3 flyers. Only I do that. Anyway, so moving back to the Grand Tournament. So, kind of skimming through this stuff, kind of looks neat. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're putting out in a book that you actually have to purchase. Like that's what it looks like to me anyway. It looked like it's actually going to be a covered book similar to all the books that have come out thus far. And I'm kind of just like, why? Like, this should just be some PDF. Encourage people to play the same format.
Now, I'm not sure if they're going to.
I don't know what the whole deal is there.
Supply this to the major events.
That's true too. They could be supplying it. So I mean, I could be corrected. I hope I am. I hope it's not something you pay $45 for. I mean, that'd be stupid.
I know, but they are supporting some really major events right now. Both in the UK, the States. Those are unfortunately the major areas of events I know about. Like the rest of Europe, I'm not as big on. Asia, I'm not as big on those scenes.
And it'd be interesting because I know those events really have their own missions and all that kind of stuff.
Really
so now that they're going to be kind of working with GW and using their Grand Tournament system,
I think you'll have to see just where streamline.
But it'll be interesting to see where the line is. Like where can the tournament organizers actually have input on the system and the games themselves in terms of missions and dynamics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how much of it now is going to be dictated by Games Workshop.
Absolutely.
So I think that'll be kind of neat.
What I'd be also wondering is how much collaboration did they do with these major events? I would speculate based on the fact that with the playtesting that they did, they brought in different tournament organizers that they have those relationships established. They'd be able to.
I think that's a safe assumption. I mean, I hope they do because I'm
hoping because they're doing smart choices. They made so many.
So
good
far,
moves
they're making good moves.
2.5 years now we're at. 2.5 years since the first of the Start Collectings came out.
Yeah. So it'll be good. I think they'll be good. I mean, obviously there's a lot of talk. There's a section of the tournament event pack that says you obviously can't use models that aren't GW or from Forge World.
If you want to be a sponsored Grand Tournament, unfortunately that's it.
Yeah.
But it's GW. They dictate the rules.
No, sorry, correction. That is only for events held at Warhammer World.
That's only the Warhammer World.
Yeah, there was a little line. So you can counts as and stuff like that in other events, which actually kind of leads me to a point we're talking about earlier. Let's talk about the counts as and the proxy models and stuff like that.
Some events, like ITC specifically, I know in their draft FAQ was talking about very strict WYSIWYG. They are trying to cut down on proxies that don't look like what it's supposed to be.
Right.
The rubber ducks,
the rubber ducks of doom.
So basically, it comes down to I think common sense for the tournament organizers. You want to be able to allow your players to run the models that they want. They put in a lot of work modifying these, kit bashing these, putting them all together. You're going to want to be able to allow your players to run these kind of things. things.
Yeah.
On the other hand, for the rest of your players, you have to make it fair. You don't want to make it a shell game or a guessing game the whole time.
Yeah.
What is this weapon? What does this represent?
Yeah, there's that fine line, right?
If you have to have like a sheet at the beginning to decode everything, you might be going too far.
Yeah, too far. Like, I mean, I have definitely seen that, and I do know it slows down games, and I do know it's, as an opponent, it is extremely annoying. I mean, the rule of cool is always a thing, but unfortunately, there's that line.
Yeah, because I appreciate it. I love the rule of cool. I appreciate all the effort they've put in. Alex and his orcs. That's an excellent example. He's put in so many conversions into those. He's made it just look absolutely wonderful.
But you can still tell.
You can tell what they are. It's very clear what everything is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's an example of a very good conversion.
Yeah, no, I've seen a few that, you know, I'm one for converting, so I'm biased that way. But I'm gonna call Brock out here. I don't know if he's probably not watching, but I remember at an Astro event, actually, he brought a demon's army that was made up of all, I want to say Eldar or just all vehicles, and they're all vehicles that were kind of up on their ends. They had tentacles coming out of them.
So they're possessed.
Yeah, like painted really well, but they were representing like soul grinders, and they're representing like small, like there's jet bikes, I think they were on their ends, and those were representing like blood letters and stuff like that. And it got to the point, like, I mean, I loved it because it was painted well, it was converted well.
You appreciate the effort.
You appreciate the effort, but it was so hard to tell what everything was that it just became, for me, I think, in a tournament, it would be more of a hassle. Like, that would be an army that I'd be cool playing outside of an event where you're timed. But you
know, it's something that, you know, even in 7th we were harping on at the tournament scene, is that you've got to watch your time.
Your time. Time is important.
Ideally, you want to get to the end of the 4th turn at least, you know, just to give both of you that experience.
Or the feeling that you've actually accomplished something in your game.
Nothing worse than ending turn 2 on a 2.5-hour tournament game and going, well, if I had 3 more turns, maybe this could have been different.
This could have been different, Yeah, no, I remember seeing another one in Vegas, actually. It was it was those Mars Attacks models.
Oh, and I love the look of that one. I've been watching him convert it the whole way, but you had to ask what everything was.
He literally had little play cards beside every squad, and you're just like,
this is horrors.
This is
screamers.
Yeah, exhausting.
Yeah. So it's that fine line between.
It's a tough line.
We really do,
especially when it's done well. You got to appreciate the effort, but like, there's a time and place to bring those armies out, and timed events.
Now, the other thing that I would say there is that I tend to see more from the battle reports from the States, the tournaments from the States. They've got the weird proxies. They've got like the rubber ducks, the action figure stand-ins.
I feel they're a lot more competitive, so they're always changing their armies.
On the game.
Yeah, so they're always trying to they're trying to get those models. They're trying to figure out cheap ways around things and stuff like that. So,
whereas here, events I've played in Alberta, and here I haven't run into anyone.
I don't think I see anything the same. It's not. It can be bad at times, I think, with certain models.
Oh, certainly.
Maybe at worst, but I don't think overall people are pretty good with their models. People are
very good here.
In terms of at least using proxies that look right, say right height. You know, maybe they don't have the right weapon loadout or something like that because it just looked better or something. But that's so minor in the grand scheme of things.
It really is. It really is.
It's people are usually pretty forgiving, especially if it's painted well and stuff. You know, like
it's things like, oh hey, everyone in this Marine squad is bolters, but these 2 guys are plasma.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't work.
No, not if they all look exactly the same. Doesn't work exactly the same.
Absolutely.
But and then the other thing in the tournament event pack that I liked was the way sportsmanship and army presentation impacted overall scoring.
Yeah.
So basically, what they do is there's 2 ways, but in this tournament pack, they you get points from. You can only attain sportsmanship and painting or presentation points from people that you've played against,
which makes sense.
So when I first read, I was like, oh well, then you can just keep feeding your buddy all the points, right? You know, he's got the most battle points. You just keep feeding him all but you can't, because you have to. Even the painting scores, they have to be. You have to pick your top 2.
Yeah.
From people you've played against, so your scoring actually.
So even if you're feeding your buddy points, you still got to get someone else in there.
Yeah, you can't. You can't have 10 guys at your tournament.
Yeah.
And everyone's feeding one person points.
Yeah, it's not going to happen
because you're not going to play all 10 of your buddies, right? So, and then you can obviously tell if something like that's actually happening, because if you see someone giving points to someone that they didn't play, it's an easy way to
Now,
to kind of nip that.
Ben has given us a question about his AdMech. He's got his destroyers. I know he built them last edition, so he's got the grav on them.
Yeah.
And he likes to run them as the plasma right now, so, he's a little worried about the modeling.
If they're all the same, and like the whole squad is the same,
for
right?
casual, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. For tournament play, that's where it starts to get trickier.
Yeah, like, and that's kind of the unfortunate part because models are so expensive.
Yeah.
Arguably 50,000% marked up.
Depending on who you believe.
Yeah, depending on who you ask. But we'll get into that one after. But yeah, so like,
yeah.
I personally wouldn't. It's a tough one. I totally agree. But I personally, as an individual, not as a TO, would say.
And this is speaking from your.
I don't think I would mind as long as they're all loaded out the same way, right? So your whole squad, even though they're plasma, all grav, and you want to use them all as plasma, then it's very clear that squad is plasma, not some grav, some plasma, and it's hard to
tell which is which.
Distinguish them. And I mean, if you had a squad of plasma on the table as well, and say those ones got wiped out, then you swap those ones into the spots of the other ones, kind of just to help.
Yeah.
Keep the
again for casual
stuff like
it
that.
Works really
casual
well.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like you just be clear ahead of time and it's all good.
I'm kind of split on it because on the one hand I do understand it's like it's clear that these three are plasma. Like you're saying this grav is plasma. You're not saying it's anything else. You're sticking to those throughout the game. But it goes back to that easy identifying tournament.
Yeah.
All it takes is that half second of not paying attention and going all of a sudden.
That mental
that's
lapse,
only grav. I don't have a lot of 3-up. I'm going to ignore it. Oh crap! It's all heavy.
It's
plasma.
actually plasma.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stuff like that. I mean,
events you have to be stricter.
You got it. I think you have to be stricter. Yep. I think you have to make that change. I mean, that's why magnets are you strongly encourage magnets. I don't know if those ones can be swapped. I don't know how
Absolutely.
Can they?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something you may want to look into.
It'd be a little tricky on the magnetizing. I wouldn't want to do it necessarily right now after it's already been built and painted.
No. But if you're looking at new ones, I think
you can magnetize.
Start magnetizing. Trying to look into that.
The back piece is basically the same. It's like the barrel, and there's like a couple extra little bits that go on. So really, if you just had the barrels able to swap,
that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Just something to distinguish. Yeah. No, for sure. So, yeah, again, it's always that fine line.
It is. And I mean, not everyone has the budget to be able to just go out and to buy everything they need.
Yeah.
Like that's part of it.
And that's where always the proxy ducks and stuff come in, right? It's like people can't buy a whole like how many 300 legit Raven flocks?
Not when GW sells them for $19.99 for a single base.
Oh god. Ugh.
And you
seriously?
Yeah, seriously. And when they were still at 7 points, I think we priced it out. You could do something like 140, 120, somewhere in that range.
And I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out.
Yep. Hey.
You've priced me out of that list, GW. Nailed it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next,
I encourage folks. Just finishing on.
Yeah. Okay.
I encourage folks who feel that they can't keep up in the financial game. Don't try.
Don't try to.
Don't try and outspend. Really don't.
Take the grav.
Like if it takes a little longer to work up to what you need, that's fine. Do the grav for now, and you might find more success.
Yeah. Everyone's gearing towards and to counter the plasma, and all of a sudden you have grav. It could work. Who knows? All
right. What do we got next?
Back to what I was talking about with the 50,000% markup.
Okay.
Let's dive into.
So this is a fun one.
Let's dive into Florida Man. So I'm sure some of you, if not most of you, have seen that a gentleman in Florida who basically has the doctorate in law or something like that. So he could teach stuff like that. He actually owns a game store apparently. That's what I'm hearing, and he's trying to sue GW for $62 million.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to accuse them of things like fraud, price fixing, torturous interference, among a few other things that have to do with American, law and stuff like that. So it's
he's
it's pretty funny.
Trying to hit on IP infringement, which is very interesting because the complainant himself does not own any of the IPs that he is trying to compare it to.
Yeah,
he does not own Lord of the Rings. He does not own Heinlein's products.
But he did put in his report, there was 40 different examples of how he was trying to prove his case. Which is kind of...
He did have a long list that he was trying to use.
Yeah, and it almost seemed like he was trying to bring to light a lot of things and suggest a lot of things in hopes that, maybe some people that maybe had these IPs or,
trying to get them into it,
had more say, might try and get into this and make it a class action of some sort and actually have some more legal ground to stand on.
Now,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm so skeptical about the law degree thing. I'm so skeptical about.
I don't know. I don't think. Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think he was trying to just stir the pot more than anything. I think
he's really trying to just stir the pot.
But it was interesting though. There's a lot of stuff that he said that you kind of, some of it makes sense. Kind of does make you think twice.
You got that unhinged guy who says just enough that makes sense that you're like, oh wait a minute.
Yeah, kind of grab onto it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm still waiting on my Xenos 1 book. I mean, it's paid for, but it's a secondhand. Not a secondhand store. It's
independent.
It's an independent store, and it seems like they go down. They are not as high priority in terms of getting product out.
They really are.
And some of the stuff I've seen, happen even just in the last 4 or 5 months, it's actually kind of concerning how either disorganized GW is or just how much they really don't care if it's not a Games Workshop store. Now, I don't know for sure, but based on what I've seen firsthand, it's kind of concerning.
It is a little concerning. Now, I'm thinking that I'm not sure what they used to figure out how many they're going to need of each book, but I think they underestimated themselves. I know for a few weeks, trying to get even just the regular rulebook through the Games Workshop store, it wasn't
sold out.
happening.
No, absolutely. But when you go into a GW and you see Xenos 1 book sitting there,
and you can't,
and you still don't have yours, and what are we now? Like 2 months in, a month and a half? I don't know.
We're almost at the 2 month mark.
Almost at 2 month mark.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry GW, but now I'm using a PDF. Thanks. Killing it. You know what I mean? Like, I want my book. Absolutely. I like using it, but I don't want to flip through PDFs.
Absolutely.
But it's like, well, if you're not going to get it to the store that I've purchased it from, you already got my money.
Yeah. Then,
I mean,
there's not much incentive for you to order through that store then, which is a shame.
Which is a shame because it hurts the store. You want to support the store, but
a reminder: definitely support Hidden City. They get a wonderful discount with no tax.
No tax, and they keep supporting the community, and George doesn't know much about the game, but he loves the enthusiasm in the community. So
he does.
Why not, right? Like
Rob, who's one of the guys in our community, he helped really connect us.
Kind of connects us with George, and
he was saying that for the longest time, George almost every month was like, "No, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I'm going to sell. I'm going to move. I don't want to deal with this anymore." We started going there, and it's been nothing but praise since then. He's been very interested in sticking around.
And guys, we go down there and we go down there on Fridays and play. I mean, I don't personally as much because I have real life that really.
You have too much life.
I know. God, it's really bad. But I know a lot of guys do, and actually, I'm probably going to make an appearance this Friday or tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right?
It is.
I'm running nights right now, so I don't even know what day it is. I just know when it's dark out. I am at work.
Dark is work time.
Dark is work time right now. So so head on down there. We game all evening. It's super chill.
Yes. It's tomorrow actually is going to be a very heavy Infinity night, which is the new edition in the circle.
Oh God, you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Well, maybe I'm not going to go.
No,
actually, if anybody wants to have a game out at Hidden City tomorrow night, give me a shout. Maybe I'll make an appearance.
Yeah, I'm also going to have my 40K stuff as normal in case there's anyone who doesn't.
Shocking.
Right? And then I'll spend my weekend at GW.
Yeah. No. Oh, is it at the birthday this weekend? Or is that next weekend?
That's next weekend. It's the
next weekend.
Yeah.
There's some pretty spicy stuff actually coming out. But guys, remember, Hidden City, I know we did a really big pre-sale for 8th edition, and we really pushed that one hard. But remember, anything that's coming out for Games Workshop, give George a shout. You still get your discount, and they get the discount no matter how big or small the order is. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's a new item or an old item.
He will.
He gives the discount, and so just give him a shout. Drop him an email. Drop down there if you're in the area.
This also applies to Infinity orders.
They have Infinity now?
George is willing to order it in for us.
So he is now. So I guess he's bringing in Infinity.
Oh, yeah. Surprise. He likes what's happening with the mini gaming, with the tabletop gaming. So this is ideal.
Yeah, and this is what we needed. Just a guy that just wants to be a part of it. He's
enthusiastic.
He's just enthusiastic. Like he doesn't know much about it, but he's good.
It doesn't matter that he doesn't have the knowledge.
No, he doesn't need to. He knows how to make orders. He knows how to.
If he has anyone who's asking questions, he can literally just point to the back and say, "These guys know a lot."
Yeah, he just throws it to us, and then we take over that. So it's good.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I'm doing it at GW anyway. You guys have watched me there. You've seen me talk.
Kyle's checks in the mail. Yeah, really.
Right?
I mean,
right? Man, I should have a 15% discount at GW by this point.
Oh man, and apparently Scott's going to be down at Hidden City
all afternoon.
And actually, you know what? I work nights, so as soon as I wake up, I'll probably head down there myself. So if anybody's around on Friday during the day,
well, maybe I'll head down earlier than I expected then.
Get some gaming in.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Your hair looks great, man. You do you. But yeah, so well, that totally threw me off. Whoops.
Train of thought.
Derailed. I was trying so hard to ignore that, but
no, just embrace it.
Yeah, you just
embrace
gotta
it all. That's
let
the
it
thing
ride.
about a public venue.
Yeah, public venue. And that's why we chose to not have a flat backdrop and instead kept it busy. That's on Mr. Producer Josh.
Always with the good ideas.
Always with the good ideas. But anyway, back. Yeah, so this guy in this Florida suit. The last thing I wanted to touch on, which I thought was hilarious, was the 50,000% markup. So basically, what he did is he looked at
So this was based on the Imperial Space Marine.
Yeah, but he looked at recasters versus.
Yeah, he called the Chinese.
Called some recaster from Asia. Finds the price, compares it to GW's price. Like, wait, I can get the same model for 50,000% cheaper. He's like, no, this is awful. Well,
I mean, obviously, in that 50,000%, he's not including the cost of GW's molds, any of the development they've done.
There's a lot of other stuff
coming still. Like,
so it was
just
kind
one of those where he's trying to score a nice point.
He's really trying to get anything he can, but it was funny. It's good, but yeah. So that's it on Mr. Florida Man. So we'll see what happens, and can't guarantee anything's going to come out of it, but it is quite humorous to follow. And
now, one of the things that we should hit on is the fact that this week, they won't watch this one.
Yeah, no, they won't be watching.
Wait.
So today, so we've got 2 more days now. Saturday, we've got both the Grey Knights and the Chaos Space Marines Codex coming out. Okay. So this is pretty big. Chaos Marines, of course, they're catching them up to the regular Space Marines.
Yeah.
They're getting Legion rules instead of just the chapter rules. The other thing that we've got is the Grey Knights Codex. Now, not a lot is changing in there. They're getting some psychic powers. They're getting some little things. The Grandmaster is getting a little bump because you can put him in a Dread Knight now.
Really?
Yeah, Grandmaster with Dread Knight is one of the new additions.
That's why everyone wants that model.
That's why everyone wants the Dread Knight all of a sudden. So you could run a full Dread Knight list if you wanted, because you can put them in the heavy support slots, and you can take.
We're stuck with a bunch of children behind us. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's all right. We know what they're like with cameras, right?
Yeah. Everyone wants the 5 seconds of fame.
Little do they know, this is not a good spot for fame. But yeah.
So that's good. No,
I'm impressed with the pace of releases. I'm looking anywhere from 1 to 2 a month, depending if it's a major product drop with the release, or if it's just a couple codexes to catch them up.
But it is interesting that the Chaos book is coming first, and kind of what I'm getting from it is it's all the kind of sub chapters as well as just the vanilla Marines. Like, it's not because all the main chapters are getting their own books, right?
You've got the Renegades, and everything except the Death Guard and the Thousand Suns.
Oh, so like Slanesh and Korn are in there?
They're still in there.
So they're not as important.
Not yet.
Kind of like Rory and his Korn.
Right?
Yeah.
I think eventually what they'll do is they will spin out, like a Slanesh book, a Korn book.
Okay.
Because one of the original rumors before Magnus came out was that there were going to be 6 Primarchs released, 4 Demon, 2 Loyalist. So far, we've gotten Reboot from the Loyalist, and we've gotten Magnus.
Or as the cool kids call him, Rob G.
Big old Bobby G.
No, it's Rob G.
Fine.
You don't call him Bob G. I'm Rob G.
Bob Dole.
Man. Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Second Chaos Primarch, we have Mortarion coming out. So that leaves 2 more Demon Primarchs we're looking at. Probably Fulgrim, probably Angron.
You think Angron?
I think Angron.
Okay.
They've started talking about him again in the fluff. They've started talking about his legions on Armageddon again. Okay. I don't think anytime soon, but down the road you could definitely see something like that happening, timed with the release, Primarch model coming out. Oh, look, here's your Emperor's Children book. Angron coming out. Oh, look, here's your World Eaters book.
Upsell.
Always,
man.
Always. They want to spin off as many factions as possible.
Absolutely. No, that makes sense.
The rest of them, no, I think they're stuck in Codex Black Legion.
Hey, you know what? But they still got, at least they've got honorable mentions.
Right?
Yeah, no.
And I like that they gave Renegade chapters just 1 set of rules.
Yeah.
You can, I believe it was advance and charge with them. So that's any Renegade chapter. If you're running Red Corsairs, if you're running Crimson Slaughter, if you're running anything that's not one of the Legions, then you're a Renegade.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just hope they. What was it? But the Night Lords and like Iron Lord and stuff, they still have
They're all still in.
But they still have all their stuff. But they have their own special rules and stuff too. So that's
basically it looks
good.
like they're going to keep all the undivided, Chaos Undivided ones in the single book, and the ones that are Legions that are dedicated to a god are shifting.
Okay.
So like Thousand Suns for Tzeentch, Guard for Nurgle, etc.
Okay.
At least that's my guess right now.
Yeah,
I don't like to predict GW anymore.
That's the word on the street. Yeah.
I just let it roll and see what happens.
Yeah, it's honestly just easier that way. Like trying to read up on all the on the theory crafting and everything. Just it never goes well. So
especially this early into a new edition.
Well, yeah, exactly right. There's
futile.
so much that can be coming
every
out.
month. It's changing.
Yeah. As long as the Necrons come out this year, that's if there's nothing else that just stays the same, I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm expecting neither Demons or AdMech this year, so Necrons, they got a spot.
So guys, we're kind of wrapping up. So let's just go through what's kind of happening with us. So obviously we've got our podcast every week on
with
Thursday with the rotating casts, the A squad and the number 1 squad.
Number 1.
We've also got the.
So if you put us together, we're A1.
A1. I don't know what that means,
We're
but
a sauce.
Sorry?
We're a barbecue sauce.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it a good barbecue sauce?
It's like one of those Safeway brands.
We'll work on it.
We'll try. We'll try.
So this is the PC Plus. No, just kidding. PC Plus. No, it's good. No. But yeah, so we've got the Expo
coming.
Yeah, Expo coming up on the 20th. So that's 40K Age of Sigmar. Infinity. We still got some spots left for Age of Sigmar and Infinity, so make sure to, if you're interested, get signed up.
Already sign up for Infinity.
40K, get on that waiting list, because if those spots don't open, that means there's tables available, and we don't like empty tables.
We want it filled.
So we'll make sure to get some more 40K in there. We've also got monthly gaming still on the first Tuesday of every month.
New location.
So we're going to be talking about that a little later, and that's gonna come up. We have our website that's coming up. So make sure to get ready for that, because the website's going to be really interactive. Like, we're going to have everything up there. So if there's every time you need to figure something out, that will be the place to go.
We're going to make it very simple for everyone.
We're trying to keep it really simple. So we're really working with On Call to try and keep that website as simple as possible. Really slick, though. It'll look clean. We're really excited about that. So we're kind of
working on that. Interact. That's the exciting thing.
Absolutely,
for me.
Yeah. We're finding that people are constantly asking the same questions. So if we can avoid that, that is obviously what we want to do. So there's that. We've got Twin Eagles coming up. That's our major doubles event. So that one's a little ways away. It's at the end of October, but make sure your calendars are clear. You won't want to miss it. We've got a really slick room. We've got a whole weekend, so there's going to be a lot of events going on.
Last year, sign up was less than 24 hours to sell out.
Scott, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was something. I don't even think it was.
It was like 16 or.
Was it? I don't even. Yeah, it was definitely not even half a day. Like it was fast. Like it's a great event, guys. Like. You get to pair up with a partner. You get to have a goofy name. You can dress up in a different.
It is. Really is.
It's fun. Yeah. It's really fun. I mean, Wes and I aren't going to be there this year to win it, so someone else can have a turn. I'm a kind god, so I'm excited to see who.
I'm also not in it, most likely. So big chances.
So it'll be exciting to see who we get to pass the trophies to.
Right.
Yeah, but we're not going for the three-peat. Don't worry.
In spirit.
Yeah. We'll be rooting everybody on. We'll be around having drinks and heckling everybody.
Yep.
In good fun, of course. So, are we? Producer Josh is telling us that
we're talking too much.
We're gonna get kicked off soon. Man, we're just ramping up. It's just getting good. No,
I'm starting to get the feel of this now.
I know.
I don't have Dan or Rory holding my hand.
Oh God, yeah.
I feel like a big boy.
Yeah. No, it's feeling good. What else we got? The second Tuesday, not second Tuesdays, but second open gaming night of every month is going to be coming back.
We're returning to Sundays?
Yeah, we're going to return to Sundays, probably Sundays. The date's
confirmed yet.
So not confirmed. Date isn't confirmed. The times aren't confirmed yet, but we want to bring that second day back because we know there's a lot of people that can't make Tuesday nights because of family, because of their work schedules, whatever. So we want to make sure that that's back on the table.
It's funny how often I hear that at Games Workshop. I'd love to come, but Tuesday is bad.
So listen, we always listen to feedback. We know that's an issue. we just it just hasn't been working lately, so we need to make sure we're going to get that back rolling. So again, make sure to keep tuning in, keep following us on Facebook. Please like the page, share the page, put reviews. Reviews really help us. Subscribe, review the page. Obviously, if you're going to give us a 1-star, maybe talk to us first. Maybe there's clearly something we can do better.
Fault.
Yeah, probably Rory's fault.
I think they controlled it.
Or those weirdos with beardos.
Right?
Yeah.
Fear in that beard.
But no, but as we sign off, I want to give a big shout out to Hidden City again. They've been really supportive.
Yep. Big shout out here for PvP.
Yeah, PvP. Thanks for letting us host the podcast here. It's been great.
Some nice little run-ins.
Yeah. Some interesting backdrop noise, or background noise rather. To all our sponsors, Cromlech. We've got I don't know who else is on our producer Josh. Yeah, we've got, and then War Games Exclusive is one of our all-around sponsors. AYB Online. Yeah,
one of our major sponsors.
One of our majors. Yep. Thanks for coming on board with us.
Absolutely, it's
not coming on board with us, more like allowing us all to merge together under you guys and support us in what we're doing. Spellcrow,
things like this podcast.
Yeah, and Spellcrow, thanks again for your support.
Wonderful bits, wonderful miniatures.
Good little bits to really make your armies unique, special.
All right, I think that sums up the guys.
And that's it. So in closing, are you ready, Kyle?
I think we're gonna whip out this new one.
Yeah, whip up our new sign off. Dan and Roy, this one's for you guys.
All right.
If you're rolling ones, start cheating. Thanks, guys. Take care.